welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday already. I hope you're having a good day so far. Well, this is the closing beat. This is where we talk about the stock market, things that happen on the day, try to just cut right through all the drama. Wasn't really a lot of drama today. It was sort of a quieter day, generally speaking. But anyways, we'll get right into that. I'm Dustin Tibbetts, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. Says so on a shirt, so you know it's true. And it's going to be a little bit of a short one today. It's my daughter's birthday. She's turning 18. Did you think I was that old? Did you think I was really old enough to have an 18-year-old daughter? Stay away. Anyways, we're going to do a nice dinner tonight wherever she wants to go. The Dow was higher by 55 points, obviously. You can see it on the screen to your left if you're just joining us for the first time. The S&P 500 added 2, and the Nasdaq came in higher by 25. First day this week we've seen in unison the markets work together. However, I do want to point out a few things because it's there's a lot of weakness in the undercurrent, or however they say it fancily on TV. I'll just say there's a lot of things that are not making any sense right now. If you're one of our customers, on tomorrow night, we're going to do a complete overview of the stock market. What am I talking about? The details, the geeky stuff. We're also going to go over our portfolios, the performance for the month, and just kind of give you the how things are going, adjustments we've made, new things we've added. And then if you're one of our customers, you can bring your own stock picks. If you trade a little bit yourself and you just want to take a look at stocks, share with the group, talk about what's going on, we'll do that. So that'll be tomorrow. You got the little alert down there at the bottom. Okay, so here we go. Stock markets were higher today. You had U.S. private payrolls came in higher than expected, which we already set the bar pretty high on those numbers. Now it's an ADP report. They come out with the number, and so it's like, it's positive, but it's not one of the real market movers. The real market moving number is on Friday. The non-farm payroll reports, we'll talk about that on Friday on the closing beat, but that's the real one that people watch. Now today's new report, when that comes out from ADP, they don't lie, right? So they're not making up the number. So it means that the non-farm payroll number might be good as well, and normally is. And so that's the real reason you see the markets go higher, not because ADP put out a study about the stock market. They do that weekly, I believe, by the way. Is it monthly? I don't know if the ADP one is monthly or weekly, actually. Okay, so it gives investors a reason to look forward to Friday a little bit. So let's go over to the stock market and take a look. You should see on the screen there, that's the Dow. So the Dow made all-time highs again. That, of course, was the dominant focus. It's only 30 stocks, right? So the reason, well, since it made new highs, that's what the media focused on. Add to that there wasn't a lot of great news to talk about today as far as drama news on TV. So they kind of bounced around. You could tell to their B-roll or their B stories, where basically they call someone last minute and say, hey, you wanted to talk about how you're spending too much on your kids' retirement. That guy got the call. He was just on a minute ago on CNBC. So a lot of background news there because they didn't have anything to grab onto and milk to death, right? No Washington news, not a lot of stock market news that really is all that interesting. So the Dow made new highs today, and again, right towards the end of the day, we saw selling pressure. We've been talking about this all week. The Nasdaq started higher today and again saw selling pressure into the end of the day. The S&P 500 started stronger today and again saw selling pressure. Is this not a good enough hint? Is the market not telling you right now, every day this week, that it wants to come lower? That somebody is selling a big portion of whatever it is they have into the end of the day. So it's kind of giving you the heads up that, hey, if we fall for a few days, told you so. Not me, but the stock market, right? So kind of interesting to watch that there. We're going to talk about the Russell tomorrow, of course, in our class. There's lots of interesting things going on there. I want to go down into the deeper sectors of the market at the moment. The banking stocks, about 1% again on the day. It did try to recover and has been trying to recover from this sell-off pre and post-Fed announcement. Technical traders will note that it could not get above that 200-day moving average. It went right up to it. It stopped. That's just the red line on the charts, by the way. Went right up to it, and everybody said, that's far enough. And they didn't want to participate anymore, and that was where everything dried up for the day. So as you go and look through some of the different stocks, they did the same thing. Morgan Stanley up on the day, and then it began to pull back towards the end of the day. Bank of America up on the day, and as everybody stopped buying those banking stocks, you see it start to pull back. So it's really pretty cool. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all did the exact same thing. That lets you know that it's not just day traders. Right? It's not me and you deciding to stop trading the financial sector. That was big money buying across the board, putting their pedal to the metal to buy, and then they came off and it was it. It was like a ghost town, right? So you can always spot that when big money's coming into something, whether it's a big fund, a big mutual fund, whatever it may be. You saw that today, and I use the XLF just to watch the financial sector there. And of course, it helps that rates were definitely higher today. If you look at the long bond, that broke to brand new lows and had one of the biggest moves we've seen in a couple months now. Short bonds also did the same thing, brand new lows. That means the yields were higher, so the actual 10-year just skyrocketed. What a crazy day for bonds. So what that means is your interest rate sensitive stuff in your portfolio probably suffered a little bit today. Utilities, I'm going to back up here a little bit. Utilities, we mentioned yesterday, recovered half of its gains. Well, that was short-lived. It erased all of yesterday's gains, and that's utilities. You know, the other one would be like REITs. If you follow REITs, depends on how you follow it. Those also continued their pullback today. There's a bunch of them out there. So however you participate in REITs, if you do, not looking good there, at least in the short term. Okay, industrials were your best performer today, I believe, sector-wise. That's Boeing. That's that breakout we've been talking about on Boeing. Everybody's just starting to find out about it, getting more and more interested. The bigger, thicker names like Caterpillar, they also did really well. Caterpillar actually was higher by 2.2% on the day. So really interesting there as far as those industrials helping support things. If we go to the chip makers, I thought Advanced Micro Devices looked pretty interesting today. It sold off hard. Remember yesterday it sold off like 7%. Sold off hard, the same amount today, then started to recover. People said that's enough. They found value in that $28 area and started scooping back up shares of AMD. So that was kind of interesting. Not really much. Micron sold off a little bit. Oops. Intel did start higher. Another 1% there, so not bad. I thought that was interesting. If you look at the home builders, they made new lows. Those are also interest rate sensitive companies there. Lennar was the one that really had the news driven on the day, talking about how tough it is to build houses and how people don't want to buy brand new homes anymore, or are starting to not want to buy brand new homes because of interest rates, costs, etc. Wynn Resorts up 2.75% today. Actually, all of them. So the gaming stocks came off their lows today. One analyst that I saw was assuming that now was a good time to pick the bottom. I always find that fascinating because I've got software that tracks their success rates, and so we can see if an analyst says now's the time to buy. You could see over time how often has he been right out of the last 200 calls that he's made. And so I always find that interesting when someone sticks their head out to say now's the time to buy. Are they good, right? I mean, if that's what they cover is gaming stocks, did they do well and do they have a good track record? Speaking of analysts telling you to buy stocks, Michael Kors, they sell overpriced like handbags and stuff. So up 3% on the day. There's an analyst that actually came out and said this price right here today is the best price to buy the stock. He was really pretty clever on how he worded that. He said that the pullback here recently is enough of a discount. This is a great stock to buy. Not my opinion, his opinion. Alibaba says that Goldman Sachs is going to rally 50%. I'm sorry, Goldman Sachs, how did I say that? Goldman Sachs says Alibaba, B-A-B-A, is going to rally 50% in the next year thanks to financing in their cloud computer business. 50%. I mean, like, they're telling you right there to buy the stock. It's going to go up 50%. That'd be awesome. So that's what Goldman Sachs is saying. And then just a couple other things. Oil today, brand new highs on oil. Get ready. Price at the pump's going higher and higher. Just sort of picture this as the price at the pump. Big move today for oil. Even though we saw an addition of 8 million barrels here locally, you got Saudi Arabia putting out more oil. They agreed to do that. All kinds of different shifting going on overseas there with OPEC as well. And nobody cared. Everybody said, that's cool. We're still going to be up there higher. Because, why is that? Even though Saudi Arabia, the whole Iran thing's still in the works, U.S. has more oil, we're producing more oil, other countries are producing more oil. Why did the price of oil go higher? Think of how long it takes to get all that oil to the market. So it's like a big slow-moving ship. And so, you know, it's not going to be tomorrow that the world is awash in oil and everything's fine. So anyways, your oil-related stocks all higher on the day. Energy, your explorers, things like that. As I just flipped through a few names, your gas companies, things like that. I'm trying to find one in particular. If you're a technical trader, there it is. This is a oil service company, INT. Look at that breakout. So I want to zoom out a little bit here. If you're a technical trader, look at where the line is here on this chart. Everybody that follows charts loves this sort of thing. Why? Because if it trades over this number, really this range right here, we'll call it 29. If it trades over that, where is the next place on the chart that it should stop? Well, there's a lot of open space, right? So this stock here, INT, it's not like a suggestion. I'm just saying if you're a technical trader, that's got to be on your radar for sure in your scans. Unless you have volume issues and you don't like to trade lower volume, but that's not too bad. Anyways, as I flip through a lot of these, you're going to notice the same thing. You got some tech in there, but mostly energy and then a newspaper. Okay, on the downside real quick, here we go. On the downside, come on. Weyerhaeuser, however you say that, and International Paper, two paper companies. Weyerhaeuser, that's falling knife action right there. I don't know if you follow charts or if you like this stuff. That is falling knife action. IP, same thing, broke to new lows on the day. I just thought that was interesting. Paper companies, you usually don't talk about paper companies much, or I don't. And then again, you've got the home builders. We talked about those already. Coty, they make makeup. That was down a little bit on the day. And some of the gold miners, where are they? There's Newmont, one of the gold miners, just reversing all from yesterday because the price of gold was down about 0.5% today. It's just struggling to come off those lows, really. So I don't think I have anything extra to offer today. Down at the bottom, you got the scrolling thing going on. There's a little bit of news there that we didn't mention. Apple did make all-time highs. Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of the FANG stocks were just kind of like okay today. Facebook would probably be the standout, 2%. Why I can't? Yeah, 2% on that one. Otherwise, like Netflix didn't really do anything. Amazon was lower, another 1% on the day. Not really anything that gets you exciting there. Yeah, Joe, I don't know what the deal is. Like with YouTube, it says if you hit the bell, it's supposed to alert you. Some people say they never get it. Some people they say they get it later. If you're on the channel at the time we go live, it should pop right up for you. I was told that by YouTube. I've never tried it, but we'll see. Oh, thanks, Vegeta, Prince Vegeta. Have any thoughts on Panasonic? Well, I mean, think about like, who has Panasonic? I mean, so you might be interested in trading it from like, I mean, you're trading the ADRs there. You might be interested in trading it thinking, oh, hey, there's a little bit of discount here over the last, since April. So, I mean, if that's like the thing, if it's like a trade, that's fine. But I wouldn't be in a hurry to invest in it. I got to be careful. I'm not really supposed to give advice on that. Tencent filing for Tencent Music filing for IPO here in the States. You've got a lot of IPOs coming up. And I write an article once a week for IPO stocks. You've got, well, Dell was in the news today. They're going to go public. They're just playing games right now. They're going to go public. You've got Uber and Lyft going public. You've got a lot of these. Well, Upwork just went public. So, you know, Upwork, like where you put stuff on there and somebody does the work for you and you pay them. A lot of websites like that are going public. Got to be careful on the sales there. Tencent Music, tons of Chinese educational companies. I'm not sure what's going on over there with that. Lots of that going on. So if you're into IPOs, you really have a lot of high-profile names coming your way. Snapchat, nothing interesting there. That is called falling knife. Just slowly cuts you and lets you bleed little by little. Oh, thanks, Bruce. Thoughts on option trading Tesla? You have to, right, Brianna? So I can't make any specific recommendations, but if you are an option trader, you really have to be trading Tesla. I don't really like Tesla moving around the way it is, but with that volatility, where else are you going to get it, right? There's not many stocks offering you the opportunity to go to town on Tesla. So I think the answer is you have to. If you're a buyer, that's a little aggressive, right? So if you're buying, in your case, you said you have a 275 strike. I don't know what that is. If you bought puts for it to go to 275, I don't like the idea of being a buyer on Tesla. Buyer of options, I should say. Great opportunity to be a seller if you can afford it, or if you have access to it. Anyways, that's all I got for you. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do the Dow Show live at 1 o'clock, and of course the closing beat at 5 o'clock like we're doing here. And then we'll do the client update. We're going to do our portfolios. Remember to check that out there to the side. You'll get an email tomorrow with a link and also the recording. The link is also the recording if you can't make it. Talk to you guys later.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new Fin Tips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.